The Los Angeles Lakers had a few question marks heading into the in-season tournament. The team wasn't winning consistently on the road, but when the time came to bear down and get the job done, the Lakers hoisted the first NBA Cup. Perhaps, when focused, the Lakers could raise their level of play to the heights that took the franchise to last year's Western Conference Finals. But that notion has rapidly faded, with the Lakers losing games post-tournament. What is the problem with a Lakers team that has had LeBron James and Anthony Davis healthy for most of the year? Why can't they get the wins they need? Can the season be salvaged at the trade deadline? Is head coach Darvin Ham's job in jeopardy, and are we headed to a repeat of this flashback story? A recent loss at home to the Brooklyn Nets, where they gave 130 points, wasn't a great look. The team has struggled to stay healthy despite having James and Davis for at least 38 games apiece. Notably, the Lakers' most significant offseason acquisition, Gabe Vincent, made 5 appearances before succumbing to knee surgery. His status for the rest of the year is unclear. The Lakers used their largest spending tool, the non-taxpayer mid-level exception on Vincent, instead of retaining Dennis Schroeder, who signed for the Toronto Raptors. Whether that was the right basketball move remains unclear, especially with Vincent on the mend. But Schroeder is averaging 14.7 points and 6.9 assists per game with the Raptors without missing a game. There's a truism in the NBA scouting world. Don't sign heat role players. If Miami is letting them go, it's for a reason, and they tend to overperform for coach Eric Spoelstra. To put it more bluntly, the Lakers were nunned. That's based on a similar move 2 years ago when the team signed Kendrick Nunn away from the Heat, only to lose him immediately to a knee injury. The loss of Vincent has left Los Angeles with few playmakers and with Davis only averaging over 3 assists per game. Other previous injuries have complicated matters, notably to Rui Hachimura, Jarrett Vanderbilt, and D'Angelo Russell. The Lakers have not been a strong shooting team throughout James' tenure with the franchise dating back to 2018. The title team in 2020 spiked briefly in the playoffs, but the team's identity has been bully ball in a three-point shooting era. It can and has worked, but the math can be challenging. James has returned to form after a down year, shooting 39.8% on 5.6 attempts. Prince and Russell have been solid, with Hachimura above average. While Reeves is near the league average, the rest are well below, including 31% from starter Cam Reddish. The Lakers are 24th overall as a team, above only the Jazz, Spurs, and Grizzlies in the Western Conference. Los Angeles was 21st during their championship year in the bubble at 34.9%, so that alone may not be crippling. The scout on Ham from competing teams is that he's one of the most likable guys in the industry, but he's not an elite tactician. In contrast, a coach like Rick Carlisle of the Indiana Pacers may be grumpier, but he's also brilliant. Last year, Ham kept his team together through a difficult time until Russell Westbrook was traded to the Utah Jazz. Despite a terrible start, he kept his team together, which led to a surprise run deep into the postseason. Similarly, the Lakers have hung a banner for the first in-season tournament championship. He'll always have that on his resume. But Ham is in danger of losing his locker room if he hasn't already. Tactically, the rotations, adjustments, counters, and overall strategy have been unimpressive. The starting group that got to the Western Conference Finals, LeBron, Davis, Reeves, Russell, and Vanderbilt, don't play together this season. Vanderbilt was exposed some since he can't score. Teams stopped guarding him in the playoffs, and the defensive combination of Russell and Reeves is a problem for the Lakers. Yet, that group had success until it met the best team in the league last year. Ham hasn't tinkered with that lineup since Vanderbilt returned from injury to see if that was a Denver Nuggets issue or a broader one. Instead, Reeves was sent to the bench, followed by Russell. Reddish, who is not well regarded by most scouts, has been a Ham staple in the starting unit. Reeves and Hachimura, in part because of injury, have seen their roles diminish. With the team short a playmaker in Vincent, Ham hasn't prioritized staggering the minutes of James, Reeves, and Russell to consistently have two on the floor. The Lakers have some roster issues like a lack of heft at the center position and few players who can create for others. But Ham hasn't been able to make the most of what he has, and the locker room grows restless. On paper, the Lakers seem to have a decent summer. Vincent was coming off a strong NBA Finals appearance with the Heat, but, as noted, that hasn't worked out well. The Lakers didn't address the size issue behind Davis. Christian Wood, who like Reddish, does not have many fans in the NBA scouting community, is not a great fit. He hasn't shot well, and despite a couple of decent defensive appearances, he hasn't made much of an impact. Neither has Jackson Hayes, a tremendous athlete who hasn't done enough on the court to earn consistent minutes. The team chose two prospects in the draft, Jalen Hood-Schifino and Maxwell Lewis, anticipating that rookies wouldn't have much opportunity to play this season. Injury has played a part, but the Lakers roster is worse than last year, and the front office hasn't reacted quickly to fix what's broken. The Lakers may be out of the playoff picture right now, but with half of the season remains, the team has plenty of time to recover. The previous win against the LA Clippers gave a glimpse of what the Lakers can accomplish. The trade deadline may lead to the solution. The franchise only has so much to offer in trade. Perhaps its best bait is the team's 2029 or 2030 first-round pick. Because of prior obligations, those are the only picks the team can trade. Others like Max Christie, Hood-Schifino, and Maxwell Lewis may appeal to other teams looking to add prospects at different levels of development. The Lakers can try to package others like Russell, Hachimura, and Vincent, but the team's overall offer may or may not stack up against competing bids. The team needs help at point guard and center. Adding shooting wouldn't be the worst move. If the Atlanta Hawks are willing to part with players like DeJounte Murray and DeAndre Hunter, the Lakers would undoubtedly be willing to bid. Currently at $167.4 million against that first apron, any trade must keep the Lakers below that line, including replacing players to the league minimum of 14 players under standard contracts. That may or may not be easy, but the Lakers had a strong trade season last year. A similar result could salvage the season, along with Ham's job and the team's pride after raising a banner in mid-December. Just last year, the Lakers were in a similar spot, but found a way to reach the Western Conference Finals. It took a huge trade to improve the roster, and there has understandably been talk about another active trade deadline for this team. They do need some sort of upgrade, as they haven't been able to be consistent this year. Some days they look unbeatable, and some days they look like the worst team in the NBA. The Lakers seems to insist on having multiple high-impact defenders on the floor at the same time, highlighted by the fact that Vanderbilt has been inserted into a starting lineup that was already spotty from an offensive perspective. That insistence borders on illogical, especially in today's NBA where teams constantly have to compromise on either end to find something resembling coherent balance. Making it even more difficult for the Lakers is the fact that they lack two-way talent. Woods, Reeves, Hachimura, and Russell aren't great defenders, with Vanderbilt, Reddish, and Taurean Prince being modest offensive performers. Ironically, the type of player the Lakers should be looking for are the OG Anunoby types, who we recently saw get moved from Toronto to New York. Of course, those players aren't usually on the trade market often, and the ones that are come with a steep price tag. Brooklyn Nets' Mikal Bridges, just to use an example, will likely cost several first-round selections and at least one young player who is a blue-chip prospect, of which the Lakers have none. This leaves the Lakers in a predicament. They could lean into full-blown offense and hope Davis cleans up enough defensively to keep them alive for multiple rounds in the playoffs. Or they could do as they do now, where their identity is that of defense, and the offense of James, Davis, and Reeves just has to be enough. Neither option looks particularly appealing, so it's up to Rob Pelinka to come up with an alternate path, which aligns on multiple fronts and helps optimize the last couple of years James has left of his NBA career. It won't be easy, and there's risk in seeing the trade value of multiple role players diminish the longer the organization waits and linger in mediocrity. Adding in some extra firepower can't hurt, and it would give them a better chance to win the title this season. With star LeBron James not getting any younger, the Lakers owes it to itself to go all in. The biggest issue for them has been their offensive output, and it's caused them to drop multiple games that they shouldn't have. If the front office could bring in some extra scoring punch at the trade deadline, the Lakers would feel better about themselves. It's championship or bust time, and some type of trade needs to be made. Let me know your thoughts. Are the Lakers needing a massive trade to shake things up this season? Or they are capable to turn things around without making any moves on their current roster? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all on the next one.